Writing social better letters.
Social letter. Well, aren't all the letters pretty social? I mean, is like the letter Q more social than the letter R?
Well, not Q, but T, yeah.
T is pretty social.
Yeah.
It goes with jam and bread. I wonder when the Pope will die.
Oh, Mom put the carrots in the drawer again. I go through all this mail. This is a court order from last month. Oops. What's this? Oh, this is the subpoena. Yeah, they're going to be pissed about this one, too. Oh, my Tony Danza fan mail. So much to do. Brother looks like he's reading a script from Laurel and Hardy.
Sure, Sid. I just finished the letter to Aunt Helen and Uncle Ross.
They know all about my tapeworm now.
Jimmy and Alice, and thank them too.
I just can't stop writing.
I don't know how you do it, Wally. You make it seem so easy. Here, I brought down some old letters to try to find some help there, but it just didn't do any good.
Well, it helps if you're literate.
Why not? You read me some of those letters. I think they were pretty sharp.
But there's a difference between reading letters and writing them.
That's just not true.
How do you write such good social letters?
They eat a lot of grapes.
Here it comes.
Well, Nora, it's a talent.
Oop.
Some people have it, and some don't.
Bam!
That's not true, Walter Barlow. And you're going
Laid
to
that
sit down
shit
right
out.
now and
Slam
tell
dunk.
me the secret.
Well, all right. Let's look at this stack.
He's got stacks of mail.
What are you doing?
Getting it all wet.
There. You see, Nora, different letters have different purposes. They do all kinds of things. There are letters of invitations, and some of them are formal ones. Now, let's see.
Takes me a while to organize my
You don't
correspondence,
seem to
of
have one
course.
here, but I got one in the mail just today.
You should get more grapes while you're up.
See, I may already have won $10 million.
See?
Don't come.
The community drama club. You're in drama club? Oh my god. Okay,
You'll notice
I
it's
can
written
see.
in the third person.
Yeah, I read it
And
twice
down
already.
here they note formal.
And over here they note
I'll
8
write a
p.m.
formal answer that starts out like this. Mr. Walter Barlow
Would like his
accepts with
colonoscopy
pleasure.
to be
That's
extra
fine,
rough.
you know. And of course I'll dress formally for the occasion when I go. You know, it's only when the party's formal that the invitation is written in the third person. Now take an informal invitation like this one.
Do they want us to read the whole thing?
You don't have to write an answer to this kind of invitation.
Just don't
Chances
fucking
are
go.
your phone to accept this
What does
one.
a furry costume look like? Should I make one or?
Well, that's one general purpose of some social letters. Giving invitations, accepting invitations.
Eating
Sending requests that
invitations.
You can't be present. Now, here's a group of letters with another purpose. These are letters of thanks. Tell me, Nora, which of these did you really enjoy the most?
Oh, they're all so good. I don't know if I could pick just
Here,
one.
This one from Alice made me feel good. I could tell just by reading it that she really liked the present I sent her.
Because she
Here,
included her
listen to this.
pubic hairs.
Thanks a million for sending me the delightful book for my birthday. How did you know I've been trying to borrow that very book for weeks?
The Book of Mormon is fucking
It's a
hilarious.
thank you letter for a gift. The one I want to write is a thank you letter for a visit.
Right, but these are both thank you letters. Now, these letters have still another purpose.
Hate mail.
They're friendly letters. Letters that give news or keep up a friendship. Now, let's see.
Please be my friend. I love your
was
letters,
shopping
all
yesterday,
types.
And I picked out the smartest blouse. But then, gee, you know, as you read that, you could just hear Margaret's voice.
It's
Just as
uncanny,
if she
isn't
were
it?
telling you.
This is so Margaret. Oh, just listen to her voice. Listen.
I
was shopping yesterday.
Blouse. Then something terrible happened.
I got my
I couldn't
period.
find my change purse. I was so embarrassed.
It was
and frightened,
spotting
too.
everywhere.
Well, I had left it at home.
Oh, I was
What an
leaking. It's really
experience.
bad.
No blouse.
Heavy flow.
Now, that's a pretty good example of the sort of thing that makes a letter a lot of fun.
And very bland.
And then there's another type of social letter. It's a letter of sympathy.
I get them all the
We
time.
don't have one here, but I got a lot of them when I had pneumonia. They were all informal and very friendly.
Lots of
and they
racist
certainly
jokes.
made me feel better. There, you see?
Well, I see that there are different letters for different purposes, and I think I know the purpose of mine.
It's
a
to an
thank you
abortion
letter for a
clinic.
visit. But, well, that's what I tried to write, but it's not very good.
Let me see that bullshit.
Yeah, let me see that. Oh, God, it's awful.
On notebook paper.
Wrong.
And torn out.
No!
Written in pencil.
Fuck it!
Hey, you'll want it neater than that. And you better check that spelling, too.
I spelled thrust
Read
right.
it, please.
Okay. Dear Uncle Ross and Aunt Helen, I hope you are all well. I
Haha.
want to thank you for having Walter and me for the gorgeous visit. We had a good time. Can you imagine what they'd think if they read such a letter?
They'd never recover.
Oh, this is fucking
I
horseshit!
do hope Nora really enjoyed her visit here.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, look at this letter.
Pretty hard to
I
tell
think I
from our
just
letter.
threw up in my mouth.
I told you it was an awful letter.
Well, what do you want Aunt Helen and Uncle Ross to think? I mean, how do you want them to feel after they read your letter?
I want them to feel like a
I want them to
depressive,
feel
erotic
pleased.
nostalgia.
After all, that's the whole purpose in writing the letter, to make them glad that they invited me.
Don't look!
Why don't you try again now?
All right. Now,
There, that's
some
better.
White paper, and I'm going to use pen and ink.
I'm gonna go over here to get the pen and ink. Now I've got the pen and ink.
Now try to imagine what you want your letter to look like. Look at the page. See what should go on it.
Oh, now I see it.
First, you'll want your address and the date, of course.
Then your rank and the number of live kills you've had.
Then the salutation.
Dear butthole.
And the main part of the letter.
You know, the veiled threats, the voices you've heard, who's going to pay, yada, yada, yada.
And finally, the complimentary close and your signature.
Every day is a gift, signed Nora.
You'll want even margins. And you'll want the page well aligned.
And remember, the content doesn't matter.
Now, you got the idea?
You feel
Yes,
good?
I think so. First, my address and the date.
September 82nd, Blarble Spoof, Namdita.
And then the salutation, Dear Aunt Helen and Uncle Ross. How's that going to be?
Am I done?
Seems like a good start. Now, what are you going to say?
Well,
That's what I'm
I wanna
asking
say
you.
thank you. And I want to say it in a way that will please Aunt Helen and Uncle Ross.
They'd love it if you insulted the
What
Mexicans.
would you say if you were there? In person.
Now, let's see. I guess I'd say...
I had never
We're
shaved
simply
so many
glad to be
clowns
on hand
before.
for a
Thank
visit.
you for
I always
having
had the
me.
most marvelous time at your house. Well, that doesn't sound much like a letter.
That's just a
Maybe
plain
it's not
lie.
supposed to. Maybe it should sound like you.
Maybe it should sound really confused
Shall I
over
write
simple
that,
shit.
Why not?
I'll use scratch paper until I'm sure just what I'm going to say.
You maverick.
Hey, how about mentioning something that happened to us while we were there?
Like when we got mauled by
The
those
time they let us
ferrets.
Ride the horses. Wasn't it fun? But how will I say it?
Oh, certainly I shouldn't spray it.
You did so many nice things for us.
No, those were
I'll
lies.
never forget riding the horses. My, it was exciting and so much fun.
It never happened.
Why, this is going to be easy. I'll have a letter done in no time.
And I'll start on the letter to Jimmy and Alice.
Dear ferrets, thank you for biting.
There. I think that's a good thank you note. Do you want to hear it?
All right, just a minute.
I said hear it, but okay.
The page certainly looks neat.
That's enough.
Hey, that's good. And while you read it,
Why don't you
try
go
to
fuck
imagine how Aunt
yourself?
Helen and Uncle Ross will react to the letter.
All right. Dear Aunt Helen and Uncle Ross,
That's a great start.
thank you so much for letting me visit you.
I'm
I always
so
have
relaxed.
a wonderful
Oh.
time at your house, and so does Walter. You did so many lovely things for us.
Look, honey,
I'll never
she's
forget
washed off
riding
the
horses.
shame.
Oh,
My,
we
it
don't
was
have to
exciting
kill
and so
ourselves
much
now.
fun.
Look at those
But
fucking
most of
margins.
all,
They're
I think I
perfect.
enjoyed just
Holy
being at your house
fucking
and being with you.
Christ! This
So I
is
do
so
mean it
much
when I say
better!
Thank you. Affectionately, Nora.
You know, Nora, that's not bad at all. With a little practice, you'll be a wizard writing letters.
Like Harry Potter.
You know, writing letters is just a talent. Some people are born with it, some aren't.
She threw that right back in my fucking
I'm glad
face, didn't you?
Appreciated my help.
Seriously,
Maybe you should
though,
write me a thank you
you're writing
letter.
a letter to Jimmy and Alice. Can it be from both of us?
Gee.
You're kind of at a
Well,
different
there are
level
lots of
than I
things I'd
am.
like to say to them. I'd like to tell them about our visit, And I'd like to give them some news, too.
I reached operating Thetan level 7.
All right. We might as well write it together.
What the hell?
Here,
You only live
you can write
once.
some now.
Oh, good. You know, I think writing letters is going to be a lot of fun.
Dear Alice, I finally lanced the boil
Dear
off
Alice,
my thigh.
I found so many new things to suck. People with Guns present Man to Man to Rodent. Featuring men.
Like this doughy white man.
And this middle-aged fat white man.
America's #1 salesman and #6 dill hole.
And the three-headed beast, Clark Howard.
Wow, Glendon Hackney's an editor and a hardware retailer.
Where does he find the time? He's like a Renaissance man.
It's
It's like,
amazing.
wow. And the Retail Family Singers. Directed by Tom, Matt, and Gordon. Oh, it's like a talk show on the Jetsons.
But everything seems so, well, odd.
How could I be so moist?
I'm not even sure I know who I am. Well, we can certainly straighten you out on that.
Your hacksaw Jim Duggan.
You're Bill Turner, 822 West Maple Street, and you're in the hardware and sporting goods business.
And one of your balls is smaller than the
Why
other.
am I here? Partly worry, partly lobster.
But mostly your parents
Worry.
drove you.
That's right. Worry. Worry over your sales volume.
I'm actually more curious
Sales
about the
volume?
lobster.
But my sales are good. Have been right along.
Everyone buys my circus equipment.
Yes, they have. But there's a day coming when merchandise is going to be plentiful and competition very keen again.
And cannibalism
How
rampant.
good is your volume of business going to be then? That's the $64 question that's been giving you restless nights and
yeah.
wrinkles in the forehead.
I'm going to
lately.
need $64 from you
Well, it
if you
might, too.
could spare.
But what's lobster got to do with all this?
What's lobster got to do with it? What's lobster but a second-hand crustacean?
In your enthusiasm to show Mary a good evening out on your wedding anniversary last night,
You took out a man in drag by mistake.
you had a whole lobster. And quite a large one, I might add.
You know what I mean? Man to
And
man.
numerous olives, served in thin-shell glasses and surrounded by amber fluid.
Urine.
Between worry and lobster, well, in a word, Bill Turner,
Lobster.
you're having a dream. This? A dream?
Well, where's my nocturnal
It
emission?
sure is. About time to start, too.
I haven't started dreaming yet?
One thing more. Yes?
What's that smell?
Just who are you? Me. I'm your better self.
The one with a bigger
Why?
dick?
What? Your better self. Everybody has one, you know.
Well, except for the people who are better than you.
Your subconscious self. And he's more or less responsible for this whole thing.
He's
Your
not responsible
dream,
for
I
your
mean.
ganglionic cyst, though.
Anyway, I just threw up the whole buffet all over the hooker.
Oh, jeez.
Really
That's
kind of
bad.
embarrassing. Cleaned her off. I gave her an extra $5.
That's the right thing to do.
The experts will give you some sound help in your sales problem. Elmer Wheeler, popularly known as America's #1 salesman. And Rivers Peterson, managing director of the National Retail Hardware Association.
They're both wearing stained white boxers and will die of heart attacks. This is the unfunniest
Trouble
roast
you,
I've
Bill
ever
Turner,
seen.
Is that you, if you don't mind.
I want to clear my throat. Thank
Well,
you.
It isn't as if he doesn't know better.
So where in psychoanalysis do you find
You
the
see,
bookish,
Bill,
judgmental subconscious?
You've been
Yeah, and the
satisfied lately with
condescending
just
better self.
sitting back easy and poking the keys of the cash register.
You could be poking high
Now,
schoolers.
that's not selling. And like he says, you know better. Just like every good salesman knows that come the time when merchandise is plentiful again, and competition, more than just a word again,
You'll have
is
to
going
kill.
take some real effort. to keep the volume of business up where it is now. Now, don't get me wrong.
I do like you as a
aren't slipping
friend.
up on everything. Why don't we run over to your store for a minute? See some of the things you are doing to ensure continuance of your present volume of business.
It'll be hilarious. Come on.
But we can't go down to the store this time of night.
We'd get our asses kicked.
May I remind you again, this is a dream.
This is bullshit.
And in dreams, you can do anything you darn please. Thank you.
Wait, he can do anything he wants to, and this
To the
is what he
store, then.
does? I mean, I would be skydiving while shooting a bazooka next to Aaron Rodgers and the entire cast of Barely Legal. That's what I'd
Take
do.
your
Sounds
window
awesome.
displays, Bill. You have a right to be mighty proud of them.
I'm standing in diarrhea.
What's the matter?
I'm at work and I'm not
Something
nude.
Wrong? Wrong?
Just
Oh, no,
touching my
no,
nipples. I just
everything's
like to
just
do that when I'm at my
fine.
store.
I guess. As I was saying, your windows are real attention getters, Bill.
They're very, very
If there
cluttered.
isn't
and
a
It's
store
difficult to
around
tell
that
what you're
does a
even
better
looking
job
at.
of
So
following
good
the
job.
association's promotion guide that duplicates the suggested window trim so carefully.
You're genius at following
inside
instructions.
your
Try
store.
baking?
Modern lighting, modern fixtures,
Guns
plenty of aisle space,
and guns.
shopping islands with swell mass and feature displays.
They look really good near the
As
guns.
for stock, you've got a good selection of quality merchandise.
And bullets.
Complete lines in each department,
Next to the guns.
offering a wide variety of merchandise to customers.
Which highlights the guns.
Now, this is the sort of quality merchandising that not only gets folks coming into a hardware and sporting goods store,
It gets them
but
shooting.
just as important, it keeps them coming back. So you are keeping up on merchandising, Bill,
But you never
but
call.
your salesmanship. That's something else again.
That's how I fell in
You've
love
been
with you.
slipping there. And as your better self, it's my duty to see that something is done about it.
To the woodshed.
That's why I brought you here.
You wait, so is it you, my subconscious, or the lobster?
I guess it is, Elma.
But take your hand off my schlong.
Okay. Bill, Elma Wheeler has 5 selling principles that people in every field of selling have found most helpful.
They've saved fucking lives,
Maybe you've
Bill.
used them in the past.
But he hasn't lately, that's a cinch.
you.
Oh. Excuse me.
Certainly.
You old treasure.
And Bill, I know from experience,
Sex changes don't work.
of these
Still
principles
got this nub.
can be a tremendous factor in building and holding store volume.
I'm getting tail.
Thank you, Pete. Now, Bill, these principles are designed to make your sales more accurate, foolproof, and faster.
All right, check this shit
Take
out. All right.
principle number 1
Well,
here,
this,
for
look at this.
example.
Check this out. The sill.
Sell the steak, sell the sizzle. It's the sizzle that sells the steak and not the cow.
Look at the cow
Hidden
here.
in everything you sell in life is a sizzle. The sizzle is the tang in the cheese,
Yeah.
the crunch in the cracker, the whiff in the coffee, and the pucker in the pickle.
That's the
In
puke in the
lawnmowers,
printer, the
for
goldfish in the
example.
golf bag. It's all that stuff.
Is this guy for real?
The best we got.
Perfectly logical in a dream. Perfectly logical.
He has every right to blow your mind.
This machine will give your customer's lawn the most perfect haircut in the neighborhood.
Just put your foot in
Because
there.
it cuts smoothly and quietly and is easy to push.
At various endangered species.
Take pressure cookers.
Oh, he beheaded a robot.
It's the guarantee of a perfect dinner
Sure
every
is.
time, in less time. Which in
Now, I want to
terms
ask
of
him
the
out for a
sizzle,
beer, but I want to do it in a way that like doesn't sound like I'm hitting on him. Maybe if I just say beer, like with a thumbs up, it'll seem more casual.
Shooting a precision-made
I would
gun
totally
like
fuck him,
this. Lifetime of fun.
Okay, all right,
That's
sizzle,
the
fine, whatever you
nubbins of a
say,
real
please.
sizzle on
Believe in the sizzle,
firearms
Bill.
that will lead to many a sale.
My God, they see right through me. Talking right out of my ass.
But in getting up your sizzle sentences, remember principle number 2. Don't write, telegraph.
Well, that one's obvious.
By this I mean,
Ta ta ta
your
ta
first
ta.
10 words are more important than your next 10,000.
But if the
In fact,
middle
if your first 10
250
words
are
aren't the right
mediocre,
words,
you still might
won't
make
have
up for it with a
chance
good
to use
ending.
The next 10,000, because your customer will walk away from you physically if he doesn't float away from you mentally.
And if he floats away from me
Now take
physically,
a
he probably
selling
couldn't sell
situation in
much
your
of
own
anything
store.
anyway.
All right.
I pointed this guy's
Suppose
life
you have
right
a
here.
customer for a toaster. What would you say? Mrs. Smith, how you fix for toasters these days?
Did they still inspire you?
Sell 'em, could you? You sure wouldn't make many sales using words like that, would you?
No, in fact,
Now, if you
only
really
a
wanna
moron
make
would
a
even use it
sale,
as an example.
Try this sizzler. Mrs. Smith,
Fuck
how
you.
would you like to make your husband smile every morning?
To cover up his desperation.
Automatic toasters make the toast every day the way he likes it.
This toaster will make your
Beginning
husband
to
less
catch on to the
distant and
sizzle method
unavailable.
of selling? First you find the sizzle, and then you telegraph it.
Yeah, but what does that
Now
mean?
for
You
principle
tell
number
like you actually
3.
telegraph the mess? I don't.
Say it with flowers. By this I mean, it's as much what you do as what you say in a sale.
So flowers
You
are
must
important.
learn how to synchronize your sizzles with showmanship.
Good
Back up your
alliteration, huh?
words with
He's not only the
actions and
number one
gestures.
salesman, he's also the number
Say
one
you are
poet.
a customer. You come to a window featuring sporting goods. A gun catches your eye. Okay, you come inside,
You resolve to blow your brains out in front of a Girl Scout troop.
and you were the customer. You too?
Well, yes, I came along this time, Elmer.
Positively amazing.
This is my dream come true.
Why don't you demonstrate this point?
Use your new cherry lip
Elmer,
gloss.
I'll be glad to try.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go take a walloping shit.
Now, Bill, suppose I were a salesman in a hardware store, and you
And I
came
fucking
in
hated
as a
you.
customer to look at a gun. Would I just stand there with my hands in my pockets and talk?
What kind of a man would
I
I
did.
be?
The farther my hands went into my pockets, the farther your hand would get away from your pocketbook.
Now put your hands deep in my pockets and see if you can make me smile.
Feel it. You sight it. You put it to your shoulder. You sighted an imaginary bird.
Or a real
You
crossing
tried
guard.
action. Now, knowing that,
Why do you hurt
I'm
me?
going to let that gun stand there in the rack and let your interest die.
Or am I gonna let you die at the end of my gun? Because there's gonna be dying.
First of all, I'm going to hold it for a moment or two myself. I'm going to try to register with you my admiration for it. Then I am going to give it to you and let you try the feel of it. Let you try the action. While I talk to you about how proud you're going to be to own a fine gun like that. What a lifetime of pleasure you're going to get.
From dispatching a lifetime
Now,
of
by
enemies.
my every word in action, Bill. I'm going to try to get you to think of that gun as your gun.
This third point, Bill, is a mighty important point.
Mighty
Mighty
important.
important.
Never let a minority see you
With
cry.
A couple of words.
Flowers. Say,
demonstrate, but
you want to say
demonstrate
with
to sell.
flowers.
God, he's the Beatles of
Come
salesmanship.
now to point number 4.
Oh, there's a
Don't
guy.
ask if, ask which. Always give the other fellow a choice between something
Between a
and
Grundy and a
something,
pep talk.
never between something and nothing.
Nothingness
Say a
never
customer comes
sells.
into a store to look at drills. Don't ask him if he wants drills.
Just drill
but
him.
which he wants, the carbon or the high speed. Don't ask if, ask which.
Oh, so if
Get
he's
it?
looking for drills, I shouldn't ask him if he's looking for drills. Got it.
We come now to the 5th and final point.
This is easily the most
Sales
demented
more
point.
accurate, foolproof, and faster.
It's accurate.
Watch your bark. Watch your voice.
Don't bark at
Much
people.
how you say it.
It's not nice. It doesn't help your selling. Just don't bark.
All right, Bill. Let's say you're going to sell an automatic washer. Go
Let's say
to
the
it.
script is on the
But
floor.
remember, watch your voice. Watch your tone sizzle.
You want to tone to sizzle. I'm going to be over here having a little drink. Cocktail.
Mrs. Brown, this washer has a one-piece all-steel cabinet. Now that makes it strong and sturdy.
Oh,
And the
this
whole
is
washer
good.
is finished
Good
inside
Jim
out
Beam.
in lifetime porcelain. Porcelain outside for lasting beauty. Porcelain inside for lasting cleanliness.
Hang on here.
That's the way, Bill.
That's a good
You're
sizzle.
sure catching on to this sizzle method of selling.
If you were my son, I'd pat you on the fucking head right now.
Remember, Bill, it's how you say what you say.
So don't talk with your mouth
In my
full.
own words, remember, it's not so much what you want to say as what the customer wants to hear that makes sales.
Thank you,
Wait.
Mr. Wheeler.
That has nothing to do with the things
see,
that he
Bill?
just talked about.
Can you
Five
repeat all
darn
that
good
again? Because
selling
it's
principles.
getting really convoluted. It's not what you
But have
say,
you
it's
been
how you
practicing
say, it's
them
what the
lately?
customer wants you to hear you say.
You know, just between you and me, I think that,
Bill, hey.
I say, just between you and me, I think.
All right, let's take a break. Yeah, come on, like that, yeah.
Take it off.
Hey,
Oh!
She put it in both. Oh.
one dream at a time, eh?
Can dream about Neanderthal man later.
As I was trying to say,
Dick.
now's the time to get back in the old selling groove. But one thing you've got to remember.
Groove is in the heart,
Whatever
remember.
selling techniques you use, however you arouse desire,
What?
appeal to a customer's
Whether you rub your
interest,
tits on their face
answer
or
his
maybe just swing your
objections,
hips back and forth.
justify price, you've got to do it with facts.
Like historical facts and important dates.
Isn't that right, Mr. Peterson?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Success in selling nearly always depends on how well you know the products you sell.
And how well you can pick out a
This is
flowery
especially
bow
true in
tie.
our field. So many times people come into the store to ask for advice on products.
They're so helpless and
information
delicate.
About features. To such people,
I'm an
the
object
man
of
who waits
ridicule.
on them is both an authority and an advisor.
And
He
a rodeo
sells the
clown.
products. He should know all about them.
Why is he
Well,
dressed like death?
Bill used to be on his toes pretty well when it came to keeping informed on products, Mr. Peterson.
Then he found Jesus, and since then he's
I
been really
remember
annoying.
Back when Bill was making a sale one time. Let's try this one for size.
It's a lot bigger, so,
Oh, I like the color.
It matches my insecurities.
Ooh, it's pitted out. Ugh.
It's nice. But tell me.
Why are you
how does it
touching me?
clean?
Oh, this material cleans very well. However,
Tighter.
you can remove ordinary spots
Tighter,
yourself,
young man.
simply by sponging
Tight,
them with
tighter.
a damp cloth.
I
On
want you
grease
to- I want you to tie it
spots, a little
tighter.
spot remover does the trick.
Doesn't cleaning take the life out of the coat?
Not with this coat. Actually, it works the other way around. Soil reduces the repellent quality of the coat. Proper cleaning refreshes it.
It's a magic coat made
You
out of
certainly
wonder.
used product knowledge to advantage in that
That
sale.
was hilarious, Bill.
Tell me, Bill,
Where did you learn that
where did
complete
you learn
bullshit?
those facts about the hunting coat?
What happened to
Well,
the woman?
you
Tell
the
me.
truth, Mr. Peterson, I was putting a new shipment of those coats up in the rack one day and just happened to read one of the tags.
I just glanced at one of the
Very
tags
good.
and just got
It's
sucked
amazing
into it.
how much information you can pick up on products just by reading what the manufacturer has printed on the label or tag.
Tags are like
Many
God's
products carry
emails.
labels, giving information about the product or directions for use.
But Bill never used to depend solely on this one source for information.
But now he's fucked up so many
I can remember
times, I don't
another
even
sale.
know.
When Bill was waiting on a customer. Mr. Smith?
Put that down your
actually, you have
pants.
a real tool shop in your hand. With this one tool, you can grind, drill, polish,
Vote?
engrave,
Silk?
cut,
Tinkle?
sand, saw.
Pollinate?
Well, those are just some of the things you can do.
All right, name the others.
It works on leather, does it?
Yes, it does.
Are you sure it's not just a bunch of tubing?
Plastics and even glass.
Armenians.
I see. Sounds all right.
But I'll
It's
pass.
a real tool shop, Mr. Smith. Does so many precision operations not possible with other portable tools.
You can use it for that, quote, hobby you have in the basement.
Information on that? From a trade publication ad.
In
Yes,
Colombia.
ads, both in trade and consumer magazines, are also sources for product information.
And you can also keep track of
But
Elvis
I don't mean
sightings.
sitting down and reading every magazine you can get from cover to cover.
I mean standing
That would
up
be
and reading
absurd.
every magazine you can
It's
get
more a
from
matter
cover
of
to
keeping
cover.
your eyes open when you do read magazines for facts you can use in selling.
And for pictures
Now
of
take
titties.
distributors and manufacturers' representatives. They're good sources, too.
For Coke.
Actually, every product in your store fairly bristles with questions.
I believe it was Aristotle
Give
who
you the
said,
right answers. Just one thing, though.
You got to ask questions. If you want information, you got to ask questions.
You sit there in your
Thank
store on your high horse not asking questions?
And don't forget, Bill, that in your regular store sales meetings, you also have a swell chance to pick up useful selling
Can you
facts.
talk faster, Mr. Peterson? Thank
We're
you.
going to be here all night.
This product information can be useful not only in making sales, but also in making a lot of sales bigger.
Coffee is for
Bill has made a
closes,
lot of
Bill.
sales like that one in the past. For instance, one time he was waiting on a fellow interested in a gun.
Always been a rabbit man myself, Bill.
I've
I'd
had
like
this
to shoot
inferiority
ducks for a
complex
change.
because I'm
What
short.
do you recommend?
Do you have
Well,
a
if
gun
you're
for
after
that?
ducks, I'd recommend a 12-gauge full choke gun with a 30-inch barrel.
That'll shut up those big mouths for you.
Like this one.
This could blow somebody's head off, right? Let me practice on you. Call me short.
Here's a precision-made
right?
gun that'll give you a lifetime of shooting fun, Mr. Jackson.
Depending on how many shots
how
you can
well it's
squeeze out
balanced,
before they
how
finally pin
easily
you
it
down.
handles. The kind of gun that well, gives you a real thrill to shoot.
Thrill,
And
huh?
This model has
I
the
like the sound of
fastest,
that.
easiest, smoothest action of its type. No wonder it's been called the gun with a ball-bearing action.
It's all ball bearings
The
nowadays.
ideal gun for duck shooting.
Full choke, huh?
That's right. Let you reach right out where you can get them.
Like I reached out and got my
A
enemies.
shell with about a size 2 shot, wouldn't I?
I mean,
Well, size 2 would
how
be a
can he
little
kill like
better if
1,000
you're on the
people?
East, Mr. Jackson. But for ducks, I'd
Unquote,
recommend a
you know.
powerful long-range express shell with, well, size 6 shot for all normal shooting.
That way you can
I'd
surprise
suggest
ducks
you
in their
get there
homes with their
hard and
families.
fast, with a perfect pattern every time. And before you were through, you sold Mr. Jackson not only a gun, but a good supply of shells, some decoys, and some hip boots as well.
Some porn and a
Why?
block of Havarti.
Because you knew your stuff on guns and hunting equipment. And how'd you get to know so much?
You spend a lot of time on the shitters, so you got plenty of time to
Simply
read.
A couple of small booklets.
Yes, you can learn a lot. You can actually become an authority. Not only on guns and ammunition,
But on
but
Shakespeare
on
and
other
Homer.
products. Just by reading manufacturers' pamphlets, circulars, handouts,
Death
and direct
threats.
mail pieces. And actually, it isn't hard to pick up this information.
There's lands in piles around you.
Material is
I have to burn them
invariably
constantly.
Easy to read.
And absolutely gripping.
Now, one of the simplest, easiest, and yet most direct ways to get information on products
Just make
is
it
to
up.
try out the product for yourself. You can always tell a better story on how to fish.
If you slept in a bed full of fish.
You're bound to be more of an authority on hand traps.
If you actually got your hand caught in one.
The whole thing boils down to this, Bill.
Nobody loves you.
Techniques are effective only so long as you have product knowledge to back up those techniques.
So spend 12 hours a day reading pamphlets and tags.
And you'll sell more merchandise to your customers.
Well, there you are, Bill.
Boring, isn't
You
it?
can go on worrying about the future if you want.
Or you
get
can
back
die
to the
right
old
now.
selling group again.
Remember, you got a wall full of guns.
It's in your lap. Think it over.
And Bill, while you think it over, remember these
Yeah,
five
say,
selling
okay, these
principles.
are some good things first.
First,
Number one,
don't sell the
steak.
Sell the sizzle.
And then number
Two,
two, you don't
don't
write in
write
stuff.
telegraph.
You gotta put on the
Three,
telegraph. The three,
say it
you
with
want
flowers.
you want flowers.
4,
And 4,
don't ask
you don't
if,
ask any
ask
questions.
which.
5,
5,
you keep people
watch
away
your
from the
mark.
dogs. I'm lonely.
And remember, too, Bill, how effective those selling principles can be.
But Mr. Peterson, I just don't know. Is this really you, or is this the lobster talking?
The kind you can get so easily from tags and labels,
And dreams.
advertisements, manufacturers and distributors' representatives.
This guy lives alone, I can guarantee it.
Manufacturers' literature and your own personal experience.
And it's also written on my belly, so if you want to come and look at it, you can do
Try
that.
over the lobster and floating olive combination before going to bed. Thank you.
Fire drill. Look, class is over.
Turkey's burning!
It's your alarm clock, you darn fool.
But fucker.
My subconscious is so abusive. I hate myself.
Wake up, asshole. Wake up. Wake up, I fucking hate you. Wake up.
Wake up.
God, I got a crink in my neck.
Ugh, I poop lobster all over the bed. Ugh. I'm Scott Bakula.
Wow.
Damn it.
What a dream.
Her tits were awesome. I think it's a neighbor of mine. She lives next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch her
Pretty darn
change
good
and shit.
chest, too. Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow night I'm definitely going to go further with that.
By the way,
You see my morning
how
wood?
did you sleep last night?
Brought to you by Lobsters.
Remington DuPont Peters presents The End.
Brought to you by Sauron, the all-seeing eye.
No, that's just an early Target store.
Oh, yeah.
American women, partners in research. American women.
Okay, come on up here, girls. You can be partners in research. I think it's a bad sign they've got all the curtains closed.
Oh, I like that one.
A lot.
I prefer that one on the right.
But it requires discipline.
I like this one here.
Ugh.
Well, actually, I like them both. But I think I prefer this one a little bit.
But I don't like any dentists.
These women are engaged in an opinion research project.
So they're all on the same cycle.
Hi, I'm Eleanor Roosevelt, and I'll be your host.
These women are doing research.
Well, not right now. They're on break right now, but...
And these women are doing research.
Okay, now, security has asked you to leave once. No, you can't have that, or any of these other things. You have to leave.
The women you have just seen are not professional researchers.
They're liars.
Simply housewives from all over the country.
Stupid, bickering
But all these
housewives
women
with no
are
skills
doing
of any
research
kind.
concerned with products for the home. Research on style, utility, and sales. And this is Chet Huntley bringing you a report on this new partnership between industry and the American woman.
Oh, this is going to be some
begins
hard-nosed
like
journalism
this.
we won't find anywhere
Basic
else.
research develops new materials to cope with the space age we're living in.
Like space coffee.
This rocket nose cone is an example.
Of a
It's
phallic
made
symbol.
Of pyroceram, a remarkable new glass ceramic material with exciting new properties.
Like aggression, anger.
Now, a nose cone has to be tough and durable to resist the forces of supersonic flight.
And women.
So, pyroceram is a typical example
Pyrophalloceram.
of the being developed
Dick.
by American industry through research.
Dick.
Now, the problem is this.
Women are
Now that
involved.
we have the material, what products can be made better than ever by using it? And more important still, how can industry be sure that what it makes are the things that people really want?
Like my huge dick.
It starts with men.
As everything important
Designers,
does.
Engineers, production men. First, they determine what things can be made better with pyroceram.
What can't be made better?
Yeah.
How
Look at this
about
bug
new
on
and
my
better
folder.
products for the
Right there.
home?
Look at that.
Everybody drinks coffee. How about a coffee percolator? About 2/3 of all the people who make coffee at home use a percolator.
The other third
Market
just
research
sticks their
report
face in the
established
toilet.
this figure. Seems no doubt that there is a need for good percolators.
My huge light bright says so.
It's also an established fact that 3 out of 4 new household products just don't sell. Or to put it another way, the women of America won't buy 3 out of every 4 new products offered to them for their homes because they aren't what women want.
So all but 1 in 4
That's the
women are
basic
being
problem.
replaced.
And that's the reason for this new partnership in research with women. So first, the design department works out some preliminary shapes.
The man who drew this was instantly fired. And these are drawings of percolators we already had.
So we never really got anywhere. I shouldn't have brought it
Good
up.
as these designers are, they know that women have minds of their own.
Sometimes they walk up to men and just start talking to them. Where men are
They've learned
working.
to seek the help of the American housewife.
Why don't you get me some coffee?
Now let's go on to the next step in design and see how American women show one company what they want before it's offered for sale.
I know it's bullshit,
People
but
come from all over the United States.
They
and
waddle
Canada,
right in.
From the west, from the north, from the south,
And from the
nearby
place where
cities,
Joey
just
Lawrence
as you
lives.
yourself may come to Corning, New York to visit the Glass Center.
You can sit on the rock wall.
500,000 people a year visit the museum and exhibits building.
we don't know why. It's off limits to the public, actually. Please stop coming. If there's one point I can get across in this movie, please stop.
And here the story begins, at the Opinion Center.
We have a lot of fun around here.
People are asked to express their opinions about new products for the home.
No.
I hate it
No. This is awful. This one's worse. I hate them.
Yes, men too, but primary interest is in what women like. Each little detail of each new product is painstakingly researched in this way.
There is no other
A lot
way.
of products get no further than here.
What do you think, Chris Farley
What
and
is your
Drag?
preference between these two shapes for a coffee pot?
Well, this one will make you look thinner, but This one actually makes better coffee.
After several thousand opinions, you get a pretty good idea of what women want in the way of a coffee percolator shape or anything else.
You get pretty sick of listening to
The Opinion
women's
Center survey
opinions.
proved that women prefer this shape. Now, how accurate are the Opinion Center findings? Well, so far, they have never been wrong.
So far, we've sold
And don't
everything
forget,
we've
the pretty
ever made
solid design
instantly.
goes into all these things in the first place. Now, this is the shape women want.
For some reason.
What next?
What else is
Well,
there?
at the same time that the Opinion Center is finding out what style women want, a lot of other things are going on.
Like groping.
For instance, over in the lab, the scientists are running a complete series of tests. Naturally, the
Well, it's
key
really
to
just
the
this
whole
one
thing is
balding
what
guy
kind
who
of coffee
likes to
will
make
brew.
coffee in the back.
So thousands of cups of coffee are brewed.
Oh, mouth
And
pipetting. She must have went to a
important, too, is
community
exact
college.
Chemical analysis to see if the brewed coffee meets the standards set up by the Coffee Brewing Institute, which sets industry standards for good coffee.
And for what constitutes a successful assassination attempt. Unfortunately, this coffee died on the way and had to be sent to the morgue.
This woman is pretending to do science.
Then a series of tests that all housewares go through. Tests for impact and thermal shock. This means from extremes of hot to extremes of cold and back again.
Much like we
No
experience
worry on
with
this
our own
score
wives
from
at
Final
night.
Saran. Previous tests have shown conclusively that temperature just can't hurt this material.
We've pumped tons of perfectly safe, unknown chemicals into this material.
Then plunged into cold water thousands of times. How many times? This is the original frying pan test, still going strong.
87 years later.
Judge for yourself.
We refrain from comment.
This test is just stupid. We've been trying to turn it off for some time now.
Such as these are standard for all new products.
Annoying, isn't
and
it?
they're all important to any modern system of manufacturing.
Hey, cook up a batch of meth later?
Yep, see you at the motel.
Most industries today are proud of their quality control testing.
Some industries are positively ashamed of what they've done to innocent people.
Hey, remember how much this hurt when we used our hands?
But here's some research that's important and unique.
Ready?
Remember, these products are primarily for women.
With their
For
boobs
instance,
and everything.
did you ever notice that a man pours things this way?
No.
Well, women are smarter. Since they're not as strong as men, they pour this way.
Are you sure you think they're smarter, Chet,
says
or
so?
just weaker?
The girls in the company test kitchens.
We've been spanking them for a while.
Through their paces, from the woman's point of view.
How's your point of view today, Susie?
Exactly what my husband tells me, Jane.
Oh.
Often preventing mistakes that neither the designers, the engineers, nor the laboratory had discovered.
Yeah, by fumbling around the kitchen doing their female
Once
things.
they pass a product, you can be sure it's pretty good. But this is just part of the story.
The
It's
other
time
part
to
is
check
race
with those
hatred.
partners again, the American women. So several hundred of them try out each product at home in their own kitchens. After all these women have had a chance to give something everyday use for a while, it's not difficult to evaluate how good it is at home.
We just ask their husbands what they think.
Careful records are kept of likes and dislikes.
I'd like it to be stated for the record that I dislike Pantera's later work.
Any product that makes the grade this far is close to the home.
Piss!
Oh, Jane, that's not the percolator I would have picked, but whatever.
Several months have gone by, but a lot has been learned.
We've been playing with
The
dolls.
percolator brews good coffee.
Really
It's
good
styled
coffee.
right, and it can take it.
Can take a good cup of
Most
coffee.
important, it's something which has been thoroughly tested by several hundred American women in their own kitchens.
This isn't my kitchen, it's just a model of a kitchen.
The things they don't like in the samples have been eliminated. The things they do like emphasized.
The people they don't like
Now to
have
work
been
out the
humiliated.
final designs, again with the help of the American housewife.
The Latvian housewife has
The
been of
whole
no
process
use to
will
us.
be repeated again to be sure that the final design is exactly what housewives want. Now, what do you think? Which handle do women prefer? This one?
Quit keeping me in
Do they want
suspense,
this
Chet.
narrow band? Or do they prefer this one? And how about these decorations?
And who gives a shit, too?
Let's see what most American women prefer.
We've got one of them over here. Yeah, I don't know if American women really care.
Chet, they all kind of look the same.
This top gives a good view of coffee perking inside.
And when it's topless, it's very perky.
Most women prefer this wide band.
Of course they would. I mean, look at it.
And this open handle is easy to grab and stands out away from the burner on a stove.
Women's natural
The
weakness
little
makes
knob
them
on
prone
top
to
makes
fire.
it easy for women to pour. This was by far the most popular decoration.
Women prefer the butthole graphic.
Inside, stainless steel has been used, matching the quality of the rest. So here is the completed design. We know that women like the way it looks, like the way it works.
They're like the sounds it makes
But
when you put it
there's
up to
one
your
more
ear.
step. No matter how good it is, no matter how much women like it, there's no point in any company bringing out a new product unless women are actually going to buy it. In line with the overall research...
Where's the
philosophy,
percolator
one more thing
museum?
is checked with women. Stores are selected for actual sales tests. The rate of sales is compared with other well-known items.
Like monkey parts and pieces of bark.
Some products fail to make the grade here and are eliminated.
The designers are
If women
executed.
won't buy it, there's no point in making it. So Mrs. Research has her final say here. It doesn't do any good to argue logically with your wife,
Women's weak, tiny
You have
brains,
a
impervious to the ironclad perfection of male logic.
but research in its new dimension, market research, has paid
If
off.
you really love me, you'll buy it.
Women do like it well
You've
enough
already
to buy
got
it.
a bunch of them at home. I don't
If something
know
has
why
the
you want to
style
buy
she
this
wants
one.
I could make
and
you
the
suffer if
usefulness
you
she
don't.
wants, chances are
Neither of
she'll
us
buy
even
it.
like coffee.
I'll withhold my cooter.
But I bought you all those pearls.
Women pick the style, women pick the utility, and women
Men
prove
make
it
all the money.
in
How is that
marketplace.
fair?
This is how one company has solved the problem of developing products that women want.
How come I'm not smoking?
Research
Now back to my
creates new
dick.
materials to help solve the scientific problems
God, I
of
love this
space
thing.
age. Further research indicates a whole array
See,
of
women's
things which
wants
can be made
overshadowed
better
by
than ever
manhood.
before.
You know what I mean?
But to know for sure that these are things that women really want requires the stamp of approval from our partners in research, the women themselves.
And a framed picture of a rocket.
Cover me up.
I saluted him. I didn't know if he was even in the army. Corning Glassworks, bringing you Corningware in many forms for many years to come.
A lot of fondled interns in that building there. Can I have some coffee, please? Farm workers work.
Almost got in there. USDA and SLGC.
Volunteer land. People in white down in front.
Okay, Jimmy's fart has dissipated. You can come back in.
That first summer, they were just a handful.
There was
Boys
chair
in
rationing
high
for the
school
war.
and college. Volunteers, pioneers.
Mountaineers.
Pioneers in a movement which is now nationwide and government-sponsored.
We had to hang the traitors.
That year, they were only a small group of 500 youngsters
And
who
7
gave
midgets.
up their vacations to work on farms in Vermont. They worked harder than any of them had ever worked.
Clapped
before.
their asses off.
Nice.
And then, when the harvest was in,
They
on
threw
their
a
way back
raging
to town
kegger.
and school, they all got together. This was the moment.
This is my moment.
By the enterprising spirit with which he has
Perpetration
served
of
on the
war
American
crimes and
land,
crimes against humanity,
determination with which
the
he has
gassing of
performed
puppies and the
part in
performance of
unaccustomed
country
tasks,
music,
by
his indifference to the suffering of thousands and contempt for human dignity, Dick Shaw is sentenced to have his nuts run up against a belt sander and have to sit in a room with Snooky for a period of not less than 20 minutes.
Yes, that's me, Dick Shaw.
Is that like a
I want
rickshaw?
to tell you my story so you'll see what it's like to go from the city to the farm where you're greener than the grass you cut.
Forgive my greenness.
It's one of those slow trains that stop at every wood pile.
At least I brought all my
There were
bags.
a whole bunch of fellows and girls on the same train. I gathered they were all going to work on farms. So other fellas had the same idea.
Hey, Cecil, you ever been with a woman?
I'd just seen an
Well,
ad
I've been
in
with
some
a
small
fox.
town newspaper and answered it. Farming seemed to me the only way I could get my lick in and show my brother Tom that dropping bombs on Hitler wasn't the only thing the Shaw family could do to win the war.
God, wouldn't that be enough?
Hey, you drop a bomb on Hitler and you're done.
Yeah, stop drilling. You've struck oil. Anyway, I hope the sores go away.
Yeah, thanks for not pressing charges.
The farmer was supposed to pick me up. That man near the wagon
Meow.
was the only one I saw.
And he's just my
He didn't look
ex-boyfriend.
very inviting. Pretty grim, as a matter of
Oh.
fact. Could
You
be
wanna
Dick
help me
Shaw?
with my
Yes,
bags of
Dick got
cats?
off the train.
Oh.
Now I knew he was my farmer.
But it did take me a while to realize it, so I just stood there like an idiot for a very long time.
I never felt so alone in all my life.
Oh.
I'm Dick Shaw, I said, and he only said, I thought I'd get a bigger one.
He likes them big.
It wasn't what you'd call a warm reception.
But I felt welcome nonetheless.
Damn Nazi sympathizers.
But I sure got warm, even those feed bags around. They weighed 100 pounds apiece, and he expected me to toss them up as if they were basketballs or something. I got the sneak.
This is the worst game of basketball I've ever played. Why so many close-ups of suitcases? Were they essential to the war effort or something?
Go. I kept telling myself that it
You want me to
didn't make
scoot you
any
in
difference
closer?
even if I was 5 inches shorter than he'd expected me to be. I'd show him. Oh, I finally got him to talk all right.
I
Quiet.
waterboarded him. It worked.
When I said, "You've got a nice pig," he thought a while and said,
It's my wife, you asshole. Fucking better half.
You know, maybe the patriotic music is misplaced here. I don't know.
and then I said something about how beautiful the country was. I don't know what he said, but it wasn't much. At any
Form
rate,
independent
at that point I
actualities.
gave up
This
trying to make
absolute form,
conversation.
this identical essence is at the same time the activity of the sublating of immediacy and immediateness and the mediation into immediacy. It was necessary to so through that and other that have fallen apart in the mediating ground of the matter and the activity. In an immediate actuality, it's something contingent on.
All right, son, pick your instrument of torture.
So this was the farm. And this was my first day as a farmer.
And it was everything I'd ever dreamed.
My farmer never got a bit chummier.
He never even
Me
kissed.
to know my way around, by instinct, I guess, because he never bothered to show me. And if he did,
He'd do his Hitler impression, and I'd just feel guilty.
he looked as if he thought I had the IQ of a low-grade idiot. Once he let me try to milk a cow.
I'd never seen so much
I
blood.
don't know why, but ever since I was a kid, I wanted to milk.
I always resented not having
Someone
mammary
told me
glands.
it's like playing scales on the piano. Old Sourpuss never said a word. But after that once, I was permanently reduced to holding the lantern for him while he worked.
And that was really
Was
hard.
I sore? And the manure. Oh, it was important.
Oh, it was
I knew what
worth
you did.
gargling.
But I definitely didn't know there was so much of it. And it was such hard work.
And I was wrong to think that no one would notice my
All the
contribution
time.
to it.
I not only had to learn how to do all these things I'd never done, but I had to buck the boss and keep him from throwing me off his place. I'm not licked yet, I kept telling myself. I'll get the hang of it. Give me time.
Get out of the way, stupid fuck!
I've only been at it 3 days.
You gotta pull this.
Just give me a
All right.
chance.
Give me that.
That old sourpuss was much nicer to the horses and the calves than he ever was to me.
So I was cruel to the horses and calves to balance it out.
I was so worked up about the
Assalamu
whole business,
alaikum.
I just didn't have any appetite.
So I just
I
masturbated
decided
myself
I
to
was
sleep.
going to show them. I was going to show them that I could milk. But all I needed was a little practice, and I'd be as good as the next guy.
So I found the first llama I could, and I practiced.
That's good air.
It didn't taste so good anyway.
Move.
Move. You move.
Oh man, I hope that's the cow. Oof.
You're doing it wrong.
This is just something I gotta get out of my system. I've always wanted to milk.
I'm gonna poop.
No, please, no. Get the fucking bullwhip. Son, your effort's pale in comparison to what I need.
I felt lousy.
He shoved that pail all the way up my ass.
I had to wait till the 6:45 pulled in, and that's a long
And as you
wait,
can
and it
see,
felt like I did.
it's a while from now.
It's
I
like
was honestly hip to the
while.
farm idea. Some bust I turned out to be. And his mother going to have herself a good laugh.
Mother always laughed at my
Helping the war
failures.
effort, I told her. You got fired in less than a week, she'll tell me.
What a bitch.
Yep, yeah, I gave it up. After only 5 days,
The
yeah.
station
Yep.
agent was saying something about the land corps.
Land car.
The land corps.
The land car.
Hold
the
my
bag for
porn.
me. I kept thinking, after all, I'm willing and not dumb.
Whoa,
Set your
hey,
mind
let's
on
not
it
jump to
and learn
conclusions.
anything. I knew working on a farm was as important to winning the war as working in a factory or flying planes.
Or cleaning my room.
And old sourpuss hadn't given me a chance. Maybe this was it.
I saw an arrow
Here they'd
flying
help me
towards the
learn
supervisor.
How to do things on a farm. I
Oh,
heard the
Lawrence
old man
Taylor
say
lives
he
here.
needed
Nice.
Someone bad. And I kept my fingers crossed, hoping he meant me.
I need someone bad.
Voice
I don't
strong.
care how
If it didn't
stupid he
work out,
is. I
I'd
don't
get
care
that
how much of
thing
a
back to
piece
the
of
city.
shit he is.
He
Anybody.
was very nice and friendly, even though he didn't know me from Adam. You go ahead and try, he told me. Mr. Perry, he said, just needs someone.
His lips never moved, but I'm sure that's what he meant.
Excuse me, sir.
Nope. No,
maybe
can't hear
the-
you. Sorry. Nope.
How's it going?
And the first thing I heard was that the milking machine had broken down.
The milking machine
I'd
is
never seen a
broken
milking
down.
machine before in my life. The old man didn't have much time for me. The cows were waiting.
I don't have much
I
time for
wanted to
you.
tell him all
The
the
cows
reasons why
are
I had to
waiting.
work on a farm. Mr. Perry was so busy he wouldn't listen to me.
Too busy, can't
The
listen.
only thing he said was,
Shut up.
if you're any good,
Shut the fuck up.
sit down and go to
Shut
work.
the fuck up.
Okay, then I'd show them. This time it had to work.
How could it not?
If I just keep doing the same dumb thing over and over again.
Yes. Yes.
It squirts when I rub it.
I was wrong about you, son. You're a fucking natural.
So, okay, Kyle. I want to volunteer so that everyone in the Shaw family can each kill part of Hitler at once. So that's why I'm here.
Oh, your underwear smell kind of dirty.
That first day, I practically couldn't look at milk. I'd milk 3 cows, alone, all by myself.
Granted, they were already dead, but still.
I was tired, and I didn't feel yet that I belonged.
The only thing I could do was complain. Endlessly.
Could you pass the silence, please? Hitler, 5 more minutes, please.
9!
First, I remembered that I finally knew how to milk, that I could do it, and it made me feel good. But then I started.
Then I remembered that I wet the
Farmer
bed,
Perry,
and I was kind of
making it
disgusted,
expect me
but
to
also
do all
kind of
kinds
pleased.
things. And then, in a week, he'd tell me to go home to Mother. It wasn't only Mother, but boys on the team who said I was just plain nuts to go.
Maybe I could milk them. That would show him.
Kid's getting too big for his breeches.
It had him in stitches. But does this kid have anybody supportive in his life at all?
Take Satan by the hat, right? And I'll put one ear over here and one ear over here, and I kill him. Ah! This job sucks.
You have no idea how strange it is to grip a plow for the first time.
It's a total mind
Wonderful
fuck.
feeling it gives you. You've got to be steady on your feet, and you've got to have foresight to see the next furrow ahead and try to cut it clean. Uncle Perry turned out to be a prince, master of his little kingdom and the land he loved. He understood boys and knew you couldn't learn to run a plow on the sidewalks of the city.
Because it would just scrape along.
Me and Barbara.
Try going
how to
straight,
plow.
dumbass.
He had a feeling for farm work. Picked it up right away.
And it helped that she was twice the man I was. Hey, what's up?
Hey, dude.
I realized it wasn't just me and Barbara doing this work for the first time.
But a lot of
But
immigrants,
hundreds of
too.
us from towns and cities where you think of a farmer as merely the chap who grows the food you eat.
Or the person you keep away from your daughter. Hey.
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 Hi. And every day I massage the cats. Boy, do they give it up. Whew. One, two, three.
Yes, hundreds of boys and girls, not just in Vermont, but in every state of the Union, harvesting for the first time.
Except for Illinois, because you can't grow anything in that shithole.
Here, sort these scrotums. Timber.
I think we work really well together, don't you, Susie?
Just ignore them. We'll take Paris, then on to Berlin.
On off days when the fields could be left alone.
When the fields need alone time.
And then the logs must be stacked. A cord of wood is 8 feet long, 4 feet high, and 4 feet wide. Uncle Perry told us.
So don't ask.
Good farmers, he said, stack it neatly like bricks, so the wet and moisture can't get through.
Then he told us how we
tried
should
showing
stack
we
it.
were good farmers.
And we failed.
Then you light a fire with one of the logs from one of the trees you felled yourself. And somehow it burns differently.
Because it's really green
The
and
water
smoky when you
heats
don't
you
dry it
across
first.
desert. And that card from Jack saying he wanted me to come and play golf with him.
You see here, Hito, golfing.
And a man's work to do. Next year, I thought I'll make Jack come up here with me.
Where there's a really sweet par 3.
So instead of answering him, I decided
Shoved a
to
putter
send
at my
some
ass.
shots. They weren't very good, and I couldn't make up my mind which to send. Because I took most of them myself. We had an awful lot of fun. First, me working. Well, maybe working isn't quite the name for it.
He's sitting on my ass is more like it.
Barbara. She's beautiful, isn't she?
I'm kidding. I'm not going to include that.
This was the cow that made history.
She gave up being milked and wrote her own memoirs.
This is my first boss. I don't know why I ever wasted a film on him.
Too bad the camera loves
This
him.
was taken at Thompson's Corners, at the barn dance. That's me over there and back.
Trying to hide my boner.
This is the time we went to the county fair. The fair's over there, to the right.
Of the cow in the picture.
Then we had some amateur tumbling.
Amateur?
Some of the boys were real good, too.
A lot of LSD went around that night.
This is the 4-H Club Orchestra.
Here's the bomb I planted, right there.
And this. Uncle Perry took of us one Sunday after church.
Dipshits of the corn.
So I knew he'd understand why we weren't golfing.
By the end of August, the Perry kitchen
Okay,
was home for me.
I actually think Hitler
Boy,
has
the
some
farmers
good
live up
ideas.
your
What?
Okay, no.
different from that.
Just
Are you
not all of
kidding
them.
me?
Not all of them. Just hear me out,
Perry
okay?
and
What are you
Barbara after a
talking
hard
about?
day's work. And this land was now mine, just as I was part of it.
I started yodeling one morning and I
Mother
never
wrote that I
stopped.
ought to have a couple of weeks off before going back to school. To rest up, she said. She didn't know we'd had a frost the night before.
She hadn't seen
We
the
had to get our
thermometer.
corn in the next day or lose a summer's work. When I got to the store one morning, there was a phone call from her.
There's the store.
She didn't realize that if I left, it meant that Uncle Perry and Ma and Barbara would have to do the whole job alone.
Yeah,
Because
okay, he's right
every
here.
farm needed hands, and neighbors had to do their own work. Just didn't have time to.
Hi,
pitch in and
Hitler.
help.
Yeah, we surrender.
She didn't know that I felt I couldn't just go off like that.
Have some
Leave
cheesecake.
my corn, which I'd
Yeah,
plowed
amateur
and sowed
tumbling.
and weeded.
Yeah, what's
Someone
that?
else to harvest.
No, but some of them were
I'll
so
have a
good that
vacation
you'd
when
think
I go
they
back
were.
to school, I told her. I haven't got time to take a vacation now.
Bye.
Did you pussy out? I thought you would.
Huh?
No, that's good blood.
Oh, the farmer shit himself out of appreciation for him
Frost
staying.
wasn't heavy, and just nipped the corn. But a couple of more nights with a heavier frost, that would be too bad.
We made sure to listen to Wild Dave the Weatherman to
We
get
had
the
to cut our
forecast for the
corn
next
by
few
hand.
days.
The corn cutter was broken, and we couldn't get new parts.
Does he have any
Steel's going into
skin?
guns, and there just aren't enough replacements for farm machinery. The short scythe is hard on your fingers and wrists.
Am I talking
You've
too
got
much?
to cut in a stoop position, and you got an awful crick in your back.
But it's better than a brick in your crack.
No time to waste. Heavier frosts are coming, and they could ruin our rich golden corn.
There was this shirtless albino that helped out that day. We never saw him again.
Some say it was just a legend.
We worked against time, early and late, all of us. Uncle Perry and Ma and Barbara and me.
Okay, who wants a circumcision? You, maybe?
Then Barbara fed the corn into the chopper, where all the leaves and kernels are ground to a wet mash.
She always
Thrown
did the
into
heavy
fire
work, I
for the
noticed.
cattle feed during the winter.
Come on, boys, keep it coming.
Come on, big girl. Come on, let's go.
I was up in the silo where the wet mash settles on you like a lukewarm blizzard.
Barbara carried me all the way up to the
Hair,
silo.
your eyes and up your nose. You can't see and you can't breathe, and it just keeps coming down on you as if it'll never stop.
I think I whine more than Barbara does.
I'm gonna put a cat through here. Watch this.
Oh, someone put a cat in here. Gross. Oh, God.
What are you guys shoving in the thing down there now? Oh, that smells.
It's hard work.
So I gave up and went home.
Yes, it's hard work, some of it.
Yeah,
but
it's hard work. We get it. You've
Makes
said
you feel good to know you can do your share.
I'm gonna gut him right
Of
here.
course, it's not all work. And it's not the work you remember.
I remember dipping my balls in the cement mixer.
I remember smuggling schnitzel over the border in my panties.
You got good tone. I like your arms and your neck.
It's the joy of living on the land.
The joy of shitting in the woods.
It's the keyboardist for Jethro Tull. Jesus, he's missing a fucking finger.
Oh my God! Luckily, we were all the same religion.
Yeah, that worked out.
Oh, my waddle feels really spiritual today.
We're gonna stay here all day until we find out who keyed my car. Everyone goes to hell until I find out who it was. My lips were huge that summer.
I'm done singing.
I'll be back there again.
Because I wasn't done complaining.
Thousands of fellows and girls who signed up with the Victory Farm volunteers all over the country. I'll be back because I know now what America really means. No.
No,
Only
he
the
doesn't
beginning
know
of
what it
Uncle
means.
Sam's long road to victory. He needs the Army. Needs the Navy.
Needs my mommy.
Needs the Air Corps.
Needs the apple core.
And
Needs more salt.
he needs the U.S. Crop Corps.
Uncle Sam is
Join
really
the Victory
fucking
Farm
needy.
volunteers. Join now.
Drive a train through the corn.
Your school principal or ask your county agent.
Or just yell out the window.
I hate snakes, Jock!
How to get bailed out by the government.
How to go places. Yes, you see, you stick your thumb out, people pick you up, and you try not to get killed. Thank you. Was it a gale or a storm?
Know where the Lee Bonnell family of Hollywood is going?
Do you even want to know?
Vacation. That wonderful American institution of going new places and doing new things.
But the French never went on
The
vacation?
vacation baggage is all packed and the family car is in tip-top shape.
Except
All
the
checked,
trunk doesn't
ready
latch.
to go places. The Bonnells consider themselves experts on how to go places in the family car.
But they're not.
Part of the job of being an expert is knowing how to get ready to go. Last vacation, this expert left the lawn sprinklers running.
Which one was the...
Well, how was I
This
supposed to know that?
expert
You
forgot
told
to
me
note
that,
for the
hey,
milk
I'm not
pack.
God, you know.
I was...
Oh, this year, the experts have a checklist. The checklist makes
No,
it easy to know
no,
what
give
to
me
take.
that. No.
Of course, it also makes it easy to know
See,
what
you're not on the
to take.
list. You can't come.
With the family baggage all together, on display, anyone can do a good job of packing.
Anyone.
A neat trick? When the things you'll want first are the last to be packed, they'll be easier to find.
Make sure to leave plenty of room for
And here's a
roadkill.
tip. One bag holding toilet articles, pajamas, and a change of light clothing for the entire family.
And lots
can
of
save
douche.
a lot of unpacking and repacking. Lee takes an expert's pride in keeping the passenger spaces clear and unobstructed.
He talks about it all
But
the
even
time.
so, blocking that door on the traffic side is a good safety precaution if you're traveling with children.
To protect oncoming
There's a
cars
small
from dangerous
cushion or
falling
two for
children.
sleepyheads. And to help stretch distances between stops, a jug of water, some cookies and dried fruit. for
Spider
between
monkey,
meal
maple
snacks
syrup,
without
box of
messing
drywall
about.
screws.
Last item on the Bonnell's checklist, and a good idea for everyone, a
Cyanide
spare key
capsules.
for the car safely tucked away in a magnetic container for emergencies. Yes, when it comes to getting ready to go,
These
a
people
real
suck.
expert seems to think of everything.
Philip,
Yeah,
are you
boy.
sure you snapped the lock on the front door when you closed it?
Yes, sir, Dad. It's locked.
Love you the most.
Uh-oh, I just remembered something. My purse.
Where is it?
It's on top of the
Dining
rats.
room table.
Okay, give me the keys. I'll go get it.
I'll take the keys.
It's
I
not
hate to
going to be
tell
what
you
you
this,
expect.
That's where all the house keys are, in my purse.
Oh.
I'm not sure what to say.
And scene.
It's not a purse, that's a
The
rifle
open
case.
road at last, ready to go places. Thanks to three small boys with hidden talent for burglary, only
Are they
half
trying to
an
imply
hour
that these
behind
little kids
schedule.
broke into the house?
And who cares about schedules when they're vacation bound?
Yeah, with millions of people dying of starvation around the
Apparently,
world, what
Pop
fucking
does.
difference does it make?
But stepping on
Mom,
it is not
Billy
the
stuck
expert
his
way to
finger
make
in his
up
butt
for
and
lost
wiped it in my
time.
ear.
That Billy?
Faster he
You
goes,
keep your
the
finger.
I
sure
did
the
not.
muscle
He did it
goes.
first.
Whose finger? Is it whose butt?
I have to
It's
pee.
My butt is where. It's a vacation for
touched
me and my
mine.
family.
Tommy smeared poop on the
Whose butt
back
is it
window
supposed
again.
to be? 'Cause it's not-
For the average car, driving costs increase rapidly as driving speeds go up.
But in this brand new Chevrolet,
take
you
it
can get up to
easy,
4
Pop.
miles per gallon.
That's right.
That's
You'll
right,
get there more
dumbass.
economically, more safely, and probably just as soon if
There
you
you
drive
go.
at an efficient rate. Traveling at a steady, reasonable speed will let you cover more miles in a day, relaxed and comfortable.
So calm down.
Experts make time by watching for ways to avoid business traffic in cities and towns.
But as this clock shows,
They
time
plan
is an
their
illusion.
trips to avoid rush hour traffic at morning, noon, and evening in large cities on their route.
Like this nuclear reactor.
Here's a time saver that works two ways.
Be sure to hold in
Whenever
your
possible,
puke until you get to a filling
combine
station.
all your requirements for service, such as gasoline, regular checks of oil, tires, and cooling system, in a single stop. Then you'll find you have plenty of time to get refreshment,
And you can see the
exercise,
X-ray how my
and
kidney
local
stone is lodged in
information
my
on highway
urethra
conditions.
here. See right there?
Oh, look at his stone, honey. It's right there.
Knowing how to get where you are going is one of the most important ways of saving time.
Hey folks, you
Remember,
want to smell my
it's
finger?
so easy to get poor advice from people you just happen to meet along the road.
Oh, it's over there! Oh,
Yes,
yeah!
sir. Down that way.
What was it?
Leastwise, you think so.
Thank you, smelly drunk transient.
Hey!
It's over there! It's over there!
Oh, well.
Oh, too bad. They seemed like a nice family.
I think we're lost. It's dark, and I think there might be Negroes.
I'm confused. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty.
I've lost faith in the military.
And I'm positive that old coot told us this was the shortcut to the main highway.
I'm never going to trust a Freemason again.
There. I'll get out and see what it says.
It says honk if you like deserts.
Oh, it says dead end. I couldn't read that from 5 feet away.
You are lost.
I think I'm going to snap.
With a good map, highway navigation can be very simple.
And with a map of landmines, you can navigate enemy
try marking the
territory.
route with 2 pencil lines enclosing the highway. The arrows call attention to important information. Some travelers use the map to make an ingenious guide list of route numbers and key mileages.
But this is
For
just
long
something a
trip,
crazy
the
homeless
list
guy
is
made.
broken into sections, each covering a map.
This
or
man's
a
writing
section
down
of the map.
license plates of people he doesn't like.
Yeah, killed
When the
that one
guide
last
list is
week.
handy to the steering wheel.
Never see him again.
You can check off the route changes as you make them. Then you'll always know where you are and what to look for to keep you on the road.
Like the road.
A knowledge of direction often helps you get where you are going. Did you know that you can use your watch as a compass if the sun is shining?
No, really. Don't laugh. No,
Point the
how's it go
hour
again?
hand directly at the sun.
Right, the sun, our hand, not the minute.
Midway
but
between the hour hand and 12 o'clock
if you look at it,
is
if
approximately
the south is
That's all
below
there is
you.
to it.
But if the sun is not
However,
on the paper,
you'll find it pays to have a compass if you do a great deal of traveling in open country.
So don't even bother trying to test our screwball theory.
When you're going places, knowing how to get ready to go and how to get where you're going are important. But knowing how to relax and have fun while you're going is most important.
and make
of
sure
all.
you feed the children plenty of
A
Benadryl.
good driver becomes steadily more alert and more efficient during the first 3 or 4 hours behind the wheel. After 4 hours of driving,
Go home.
his efficiency usually begins to drop unless he knows how to relax.
So apply Roadhead at 4-hour
The
intervals.
safest and most relaxed grip on the steering wheel is with the hands in what the experts call the 10-20 position.
Other people call it the turkey gobbler.
You'll cover more miles and arrive feeling more refreshed with your back straight and your head up than if you slouch behind the wheel. An occasional change in the position of the driver's seat also helps you stay comfortable and alert.
Good one, honey. Nice rip.
Cross-country travel can be a rewarding experience for the whole family.
But it never
there
is.
are times when young passengers need
moving around back there.
scenery to keep them happy and occupied. Here is a game that's fun for all.
Russian roulette.
How far is it to that mountain ahead? Each member of the family guesses, and the closest guess scores a point.
And there's your
Many
dad's
familiar
leg.
parlor games
See?
become more enjoyable because they're played in a parlor on wheels.
Get it?
Spelling games
Huh,
and
it's like a
guessing
car.
games and license plate games inspired by the passing scene. On any cross-country vacation
See,
trip,
that's where we drove the
the
Indians
real
out.
expert
Yeah.
is the one
Shoot-
who
shoot your gun,
takes
yeah,
the
shoot those
time
fuckers,
to
yeah.
discover America. East or west, north or south,
You're gonna die.
the awe-inspiring wonders of the Grand Canyon of the Colorado, the spectacular beauty of Zion National Monument,
Or this boring cliff.
mighty Niagara,
The captivating joy of
the
Dubuque.
sparkling waters of the Atlantic,
This bridge.
the historic Southland.
Or Washington, D.C.
All these and 1,000 more within your easy reach. Isn't America wonderful?
Say yes.
And aren't vacationers wonderful too?
What?
We're the
Yes,
boys.
vacationers are
We've come
wonderful.
hundreds of miles to see all of this. Why aren't they out here to enjoy it?
Why don't I take care of them?
Are planning next summer's vacation. They're reading a book.
Reading a book?
I never taught them to read.
The title is
Fucking book. Oh,
We're not gonna last, are we?
not a chance.
The end, or is it the beginning of a continuing road in a Chevrolet that you drive and
Drive to Russia.
by our car?